Alright, today I got some Structolite in there into that hole. I put some lath up in there and then one coat of Structolite. It's going to need another coat of, I'm going to use some plaster over that. And you can see up here, it's kind of cracking right here, so I might take that whole little piece out right here. I don't know, I might take this little piece out here too, I'm not sure. But yeah, you can see how much I took out right here, because it was falling in that spot, so I just better to take it all off. Anything that's really loose, you could screw it in to the lath, you could try that, but if it doesn't, if it's not that secure, it's better just to take it off and redo that spot. It looks like crap right now, but you'll see later on in the next video that I do, or maybe later on in this video. I might make this one big long video of this, how it looks afterwards. But I gotta put another piece of wood there, because that wood there is kind of eaten up where the laths go. And what I do is I break it back to the studs where the hole is, and then I'll put some new lath boards in there, and then I'll put the Structolite over that. So all the old electrical is right in this area here, which is about 4 feet over. It's exactly 4 feet because this light's 4 feet. And then you got like 4 more feet over, you got that really thick cable coming from the basement going up to the panel. And you also got the pipe for the heater going up to the attic. That's why that thing's notched out there. That's ready to be filled in with some Structolite. There's a hole here in the wall in the sheetrock, and there was newspaper inside the wall, and the date dated 1965, September 23rd. Alright, so here I cut it out so I could put a piece of sheetrock, and I said, you know what, I'm about to plaster right now with some Structolite up in here, so might as well just put some lath boards in here. Alright, here's the patch. It's a plaster base Structolite. It's still a little wet, just put it on. So I'll put a finish coat of some joint compound, some 90-minute mud when I'm done, when this is dry. So you could always fix sheetrock with plaster if you want to, and vice versa. A lot of people use sheetrock to fix plaster, but you could do the other way around as well. This is what I got done. And I gotta go and mix up some more mud, plaster base, because I ran out, and that's what I got left right there. Now I put on some Easy Sand 90-minute joint compound over that Structolite. That's my first coat. It looks like it needs one more skim coat over that, and it should be good. It's still got some little low spots in it that I can see, little holes and stuff, little dimples. And here's that patch that I did on the drywall. It's not bad. It's one more skim coat. A lot of work fixing these plaster walls. No wonder people just rip them out and put sheetrock. But I really like the way plaster is. It's monolithic, so I'm gonna keep them. Alright, here I am, and working on it again another day. You can see I got most of that wallpaper gone, and you can see all my little cracks. I started putting, screws to reinforce them. If they're a little loose, you put screws on both sides, and then after you screw them in, what I do is I go and I score them with a razor blade, so the crack is real deep. So when you put in your mud, it actually will, it'll actually go in there. If you just leave the crack real small like this, no mud's gonna go in it. It's gonna be real hard for it to feel the crack, so it's good to score it really well. And then after I fill it with mud a little bit, I'll go and get some fiber tape, and I'll run the fiber tape over that. So you can see over here, I filled that one, so now I'm gonna put some fiber tape over those cracks that I already filled.
I'm gonna take that ornament down still. And so you can see this wall's nice and pretty on this side. And this side is just like, what happened? It looks like the house is just all torn up. And I'm gonna skim coat over this whole wall. All right, skim coated it one time. And it's looking pretty good. I'm sure there's some little imperfections here and there. So probably needs one more skim coat. There's a nice skim coat everywhere. So, you look at the before video. Look at this now, it's a big difference. Still not perfect, but it's a heck of a big difference. And the wall's starting to look solid. Alright, back to this room over here, and you can see up there, the ornament is gone finally. Knocked it down the other day. There's all the pieces that I knocked down. Very thick plaster. This is probably 150 years old. So that's how old this house is. You can see how much, it's 2 inches of thick plaster right there. So still working here. I got a new little box, junction box for this. And it's the kind that, you know, has a little flapper. When you tighten it down, the little flapper opens up. So it actually will work on lath and plaster, but just barely. Yeah, so that's all good. Now I can go and put some Structilite here and some plaster. And then I also picked up one of these. We're probably not going to put a ceiling fan here, but just in case in the future that I do, because I think we're putting chandelier, just in case I put a fan in the future, I bought this ceiling fan support box and brace kit. Up a couple pieces of lath here, and you can see I think this is 16 on center. So these things will get pushed in there just like that. You hit them in place just like that, right there. Alright, so I ended up installing the ceiling fan support box with the brace kit. Pretty easy. It has little spikes in it that you hammer in, and it's adjustable widthwise. And you just put the screws in the holes into the studs. Pretty simple. And this is how it looks. Already got the lath up here ready to plaster. I got the cover plate on just for the time being. Next project is installing 8-inch baseboard. Real simple. Doing a miter joint, 45. It's a little bit off here, but I can fill that in with some caulking. Alright, I'm going to use some wood glue on this. We're good. Alright, there it is with the holes caulked in. You can see it's pretty good. If you don't caulk these, it just looks like crap, so I always do. And if that's not fancy enough, I could always put some of this on there. I dress it up a little bit more, make it a little bit higher, and just give it a nice little touch next to the ceiling. Alright, back at it on these walls today. This time I'm using my all-purpose mud in a bucket because it's just a skim coat over the final skim coat. So I did all that there, went down the pillar here and did the side of this chimney bricks. And it's looking pretty good. So that's one section down. Now to complete all the rest. I must tell you, I'm not a fan of doing plaster work. It's not my thing, but I'm doing it. It just takes me forever. And again, I just got that really tore up ceiling to do. Skim coat that whole thing. Probably gonna use hot mud though for that because it's really screwed up. So don't trust the all-purpose mud for that. The all-purpose, I just do the last skim coat, like very last when I'm done with all of the plastering. That's just one last coat over the surface. Alright, here it is the next morning, and the walls are nice and dry. Still see some spots I'm not happy with, but still gotta sand it. Came out real nice over here and on this wall. Here I am working on this ceiling again. Did my first coat of plaster, base coat, so I gotta go over it one more time. I'm thinking about just using this new stuff I haven't used yet. Pre-mixed, it's called Proform, and it's a light blue, lightweight joint compound. So that will fill in any little imperfections that I missed. Alright, I've decided to get rid of this doorway here. It would be nice if this was not a theater room, but because it's a theater room now, playing movies, you hear everything in that room, so I have to make this a wall now. Alright, got the framing in, 16 on center. Alright, I had to shim out. The 2x4s weren't wide enough, so I put some wood lath on the end of the 2x4s, and I had to do that on both sides. Mold resistant sheetrock up on here. Shimmed it up so it's somewhat close. A little bit off here, but I'm gonna put some Structolite in there in that crack, and all up in these cracks here. Got my Structolite on, it's already dry, it's been a few hours. It looks pretty good. Still haven't done my mudding on the tape right here, mesh tape. But I did use some insulation, some Therma fiber by Owens Corner, and that's a mineral wool. I'll show you how that looks on the other side. All right, here we are on the other side of the room. And there's the wool, mineral wool. And it's down quite a bit. I mean, way better than fiberglass battwood. So, first time using this product. And then I did buy some of this stuff. It's for stucco or, you know, plastering ceilings or something like that. And the reason why I did this way on this side is because I really want it to be soundproof, and this is way more soundproof than just regular sheetrock. So I figured at least if I had this part plastered up, I'll do my Structolite over this mesh, and then I'll just do 2-3 layers, and then hopefully that'll help with the sound, because I do have a piano in here. Next step is to get some glue on here, some bonding adhesive all the way around where the wood is, and then I can go ahead and start putting my Structolite. Alright, there's the Structolite. I ran out of Structolite. I only had 2 bags, or 1 3/4 bags, did about that much, but I still need 1 more bag to get this bottom filled in a little better, and then probably do a second coat and smooth it all out. There's a lot of low and high spots, but it's looking good. Finish it up tomorrow. Alright, and here's the other wall here finished. Well, the Structolite is hard now, hard as a rock. I just put 1 more coat on the mesh tape here. I had 1 seam and then a little crack there. So I'll need to skim coat it all tomorrow 1 more time with some hot mud. Alright, just skim coat the whole wall. It came out pretty nice. Might need 1 more skim coat over if there's any more imperfections when it's dry. But it's pretty flat, it's pretty nice. Alright, here's the other side. I went and put 1 more coat of plaster base, Structolite over it, and then when that dried I put my finishing plaster or hot mud over that and troweled it all down with a 16-inch pull trowel. I use a pull trowel because it's rounded on the edge. It doesn't leave a lot of lines. Now all I have to do is go and scrape any high spots with a knife and then go over it 1 more time with just that pre-mixed mud, and this will be done. But it's like 90% done there, just a few little imperfections that I gotta go over with that regular pre-mixed mud, like in here in the corner. some low spots there in the corner. But it's still drying, still a little bit wet, so I'm gonna wait for tomorrow to finish that up. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's how I closed up this opening. And hopefully we'll have a lot more privacy in this room, our formal family room.